In today's video, I'm going to talk about adjusting to new hearing aids. Welcome, if you're new, my name is Emily. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing myself. I wear hearing aids and I've worn them since I was 4 months old. I love them so much. I don't mind showing off my hearing aids. In fact, the last time I got ear molds, I picked gold sparkly ear molds. Having confidence with hearing aids is key. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more great hearing loss related content for you. And when you subscribe, you get a notification that a new video is out and you get to stay in the know with Definite Hearing videos. I'm so grateful you're here today. All right, so whether you are getting hearing aids for the first time or you're just getting a new pair of hearing aids because it's that time, adjusting to hearing aids is always an adjustment. I don't know exactly how many pairs of hearing aids I've had throughout my lifetime. Typically you get a new pair of hearing aids every 3 to 5 years. So based on my age, I think I've had about 7 different pairs of hearing aids. And I could be totally wrong. I want to say I've had even more than that. But I can tell you for sure, I know that the last 3 pairs have been very different. I hope you stick around to the end of this video because if you do, I'm going to share the game-changing truth about hearing aids. If you're getting hearing aids for the first time, you have realized that you need hearing aids. This could be a light bulb moment. It could be a sad moment because you realize that your ears aren't working like they used to. It's just the scale of hearing loss recognition is extremely different. It's different for everyone. So if you're feeling down or you're feeling excited, this is normal. And I'm here to tell you that this range of emotions will continue and you can get through it. So regardless of where you're getting your hearing aids, you need to go to a licensed audiologist. It's very tempting to go to a hearing aid dispenser. How do you know the difference between the two? Simply ask. Ask the receptionist or the person themselves, are you a licensed audiologist? You should be having hearing tests performed before you're recommended for specific hearing aids. The reason for this is because audiologists will perform scientific mappings of your hearing. This is important. It's objective. It is a scientific mapping of your hearing. There's no joking about it. It is what it is. And because of that data, the audiologist is able to give you a firm recommendation of the proper hearing devices for your hearing loss. I often have people ask me, what are the best hearing aids? And honestly, I love ReSound because I'm currently wearing them, but I haven't got to try the Phonak Paradise or the Kirkland brand. They all sound extremely different and they are all fit for different types of hearing loss. So your audiologist will recommend the best for you based on your hearing loss. It may be tempting to go with the biggest name brand, but like running shoes, sometimes the biggest brand doesn't always fit your feet. All right, so I would say that when you're getting new hearing aids, if you are getting them for the first time or you've had them for a while, if you've had them for a while, this next issue isn't really as predominant, but it can be. Confidence can be a huge concern when getting new hearing aids, especially if it is your first time or if a person is upgrading in size. What do I mean by that? Well, there are different types of hearing aids. Before I got my behind the ear models, in the last 2 hearing aids, I was in a receiver in the canal model. This model is just very well known because hearing aid marketers market it as small, discreet, hard to see, the kind of hearing aid you want. That marketing, in my opinion, is deceptive because hearing aids and these devices help us hear. They help us understand what we're hearing and they help us be included in conversations. And this marketing, it talks about hiding and not showing people that we have hearing aids. It's just confusing. Anyway, so these receiver in the canal models that I am referring to are smaller than the behind the ear models. As you can see, this is a behind the ear model and it is bigger. My receiver in the canal models were just a tad bit smaller and they were, as a result, a little bit harder to see. But this confidence factor, you are getting hearing aids because you need to hear and understand. You need to make sure you're getting the right model of hearing aid that has the right hearing power. The bigger the hearing aid, usually the more room for tech, the more room for features, the more room for hearing power. So I was in receiver in the canal hearing aids for a while. It wasn't until an audiologist asked me, why are you in receiver in the canal hearing aids? Your hearing loss is such that you should be in the behind the ear model. And I was like, oh, well, that's good to know. we should switch over. And in switching over, I definitely had an increase of sound clarity, sound perception, and also just the power. And it didn't beat back as much because my hearing aids were not at the max of their threshold or potential to process sound for my loss. So if you're getting hearing aids for the first time, you may be worried about the way your hearing aids look, what people will say or think. Remember that the majority of people act like mirrors. They will react to your hearing aids the way that you yourself feel about them. So if you're getting new hearing aids, take some time. Ask yourself why you're getting these and just don't draw attention to them. You don't need to mention them. Don't feel obligated to say like, oh yeah, I got new hearing aids. If you do, be excited about it. Express your excitement to hear and be involved in conversations once again. Another challenge of new hearing aids is that you will have something in your ear. Now, when I moved from the receiver in the canal model to a behind the ear model, my ear mold got significantly bigger. And this increase in size required an adjustment of how I felt with my ears, just physically. Like it felt a little bit more itchy, a little bit more sweaty. It took time for my ears to acclimate to having a whole mold in the ear. And this is normal. It takes a couple weeks. You just have to refrain from pulling at it. Now, if your ear is itchy, that's different. You need to disinfect your mold and keep them clean to make sure that you do not get any ear infections. Another adjustment of getting new hearing aids, this one applies to whether you're getting your first pair or another new pair, is the adjustment to sound. Every hearing aid is different. Even if you're getting the same model just a couple years later, it sounds different. The technology changes, the way that this hearing aid processes sound changes slightly, and it does make a significant difference. Whenever I get new hearing aids, there's always an adjustment period of sounds that were not loud before are now loud and almost unbearable. Dishes is a great example for me. If you're a hearing aid wearer, when you get new hearing aids, what sounds make you cringe when you get new hearing aids? I would love to hear in the comments below. I will also say that sometimes it just sounds plugged or underwater, especially if you go from a small mold in the receiver canal mold to a full ear mold. It just felt like I was plugged up because air wasn't able to move through my ear as freely as it was before. This is normal. Again, it takes time to adjust. As with the sound of the dishes or the underwater feeling, your brain will get used to this sound and it will adjust over time. But this can take 3 to 6 weeks. I will say that if there are sounds like the dishes that are really unbearable and they cause you to not want to wear your hearing aids, definitely go to your audiologist. Ask them to reduce the sounds in those levels, especially the sharp sounds. They can make adjustments to your hearing aids that can make them more comfortable to wear. There is a fine balance that sometimes you just have to wear your hearing aids and get used to them, especially if you've been living in silence, unbeknownst to you, for a long time. But like I said, as you are patient with yourself, others should be patient with you. And over time, you'll notice that hearing aids are amazing. I hope that you find the joy in hearing aids that I have found in them. I am so grateful for the things that I'm able to hear. Just even today, I was sitting on the couch with my husband and I noticed a new sound that I didn't recognize. I was able to think for a few seconds and realize that's the dishwasher. It was interesting. And it's always fun to discover new sounds. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I want to share the game-changing truth about hearing aids. If hearing aids are right for you and you decide to stick with them, you will notice that your relationships will improve. You will be able to hear and hopefully understand what's going on around you. You'll discover new sounds. You won't have to say what as often. Now, you might find yourself saying what, but more out of habit than need. And that takes some time to autocorrect, but you'll overcome it. If you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. I love my hearing aids because they help me feel included. I can take them out at night and sleep in peace. It's like the best of both worlds. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more awesome hearing loss related content for you. Stay strong, stay amazing, and have a great day.